Did you know that English is the only language in the world that only has one word for you? Let me explain. Virtually all languages use these things called pronouns. Pronouns have become quite popular lately. Very exciting for linguists. In linguistics, there are three persons: first, second, and third. First is the speaker, second is the person being spoken to, and third is anyone else. A few languages do have the concept of a fourth person, but let's save that for another video. But why does English have 4 different words for the first person, I, me, we, us, and only 1 word for the entire second person? It's just you, whether it's singular, plural, subject, object, formal, or informal. Actually, that's where our story starts. Most languages, like Spanish, have a word for a you that's informal, familiar. Tú. And they have a different word for a you which is more formal, more polite. Usted. Well, English used to have this same distinction. You're probably even familiar with it. Today, you seems like an informal way to address someone. But in fact, you used to be exclusively the formal way to address someone. In English, the informal term of address used to be thou. But as with many things, some rich guys broke the system. Way back when, some kings weren't down to be called thou. Too informal. Well, English didn't have a you formal. But it did have a you plural. So the only option other than thou was you, which again meant exclusively you all. Addressing someone in the plural feels kinda grand, I guess. So your majesty originally meant something like y'all's majesty. Anyway, over time, people started using the plural you to address anyone formally, not just royalty. But after a while of having a formal option, English speakers got really sensitive, I guess, because they started getting offended anytime anyone didn't address them formally. So by a couple hundred years ago, pretty much no one was saying thou anymore. Everyone was addressing everyone formally as you, which again originally meant only the plural you all. Well, there's no light without the dark, and no formal without the informal. If everyone addresses everyone formally all the time, it stops being formal. So now you has lost both its plural and its formal meanings. And so we've had to compensate with awkward phrases like you all, you guys, and yous. In linguistics, it's very hard to talk about absolutes. You will almost always find an exception to any rule. So please, always tell me how and why I'm wrong in the comments.